Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, January 5th. Happy New Year. And today is the portfolio update for December of 2025. So basically, we'll go through the numbers, where we stood as of last month, our goals for this month. Did we meet our goals, where we're headed, this, that, and the other thing? So we'll try to have fun with it since it's live. Obviously, if you guys have questions, we'll bring them up and we'll go over them as we go. So this morning, it's looking rather green. Bitcoin did hit 93 actually just before I went live. Where is it? Right there. It was there, I swear. But yeah, now it's at 92.9. But regardless, we're looking rather green this morning, which is really good. Almost, all the stocks on my watch list are reflecting green, so we may be headed into a pretty damn good day. But anyway, I want to cover portfolio update. Here is my Roddy file. Most of you are familiar with this. So at the end of each month, I'll tally up how much I made from each of the individual underlyings, because obviously, I hold several. I hold Open, SoFi, Elf, Hood, Palantir, IWM, QQQ, and now Netflix. Now, as for those of you not familiar with maybe what I'm doing, I'm doing like a new strategy. I'm trying a new strategy where basically I'm creating somewhat of a synthetic position with some downside protection. And the idea is, instead of doing the wheel strategy where you sell puts, you sell calls, and you actually own the underlying throughout the wheel. The way I'm doing it is kind of, again, if you're familiar with YieldMax or familiar with other of these funds, you make a synthetic position. Basically, think of it like a poor man's covered call. You're using the long call in replacement to sell the calls, against that. So you don't actually own an underlying. So I don't actually physically own any of these, and I never will with this strategy. I just own an option, right? I own an option on Open, SoFi, and so on. The difference is, with owning shares and then versus a synthetic has an expiration date. There is an end date to it. So typically you would want something to go in a certain direction during that time. Obviously, most of these trades are bullish. So, again, I am on we'll say a date limit on all of these, but hopefully within that date limit, these funds will go up in due time. But during that time, what I do is I sell covered calls on all of them. All right. So for Open for the month of December, I made $750. Again, this is just on selling covered calls throughout the month. Obviously, that exceeded what I made last month, which was 566. So that's good. SoFi, I made 701, which was not more than last month. That's okay. Still a good number. Elf, I made about 324, which that did not exceed the month prior, and definitely did not exceed the first month. But Elf, again, most of you know about the Elf journey. Elf is a great fund right now to trade, and it's just working. I don't know how else to say it. It's just working good. All right, it's coffee time. All right, let's keep going. We got Robinhood. If I were to go back and get a freebie and remove a trade, it would be on Robinhood. It's not because I don't like Robinhood. It's because of my entry point on Robinhood. So when I started my position, I rushed it like a fool, and I'm paying for it, and I'm dealing with it. So in the beginning, I was doing good, making about 700 a month. But this past month, I made 410. And the reason is because Robinhood did nothing but go down since I entered the position. So it's rather hard to sell aggressive covered calls on a position that you're down on, especially with this strategy. Palantir, really, really good month. 1,548. They really carried me this month. So, you know, it beat last month. So that's good. IWM. Wait a second. This is, yeah, one. All right. So IWM, yeah, the reason it's nothing crazy is because my other position, it got assigned, it got called away. So I did have to close it out. And obviously I started a new position, but kind of late. So that's the reason. It's not like nothing crazy there, not a lot of money. QQQ, again, these indexes, I plan on making them carry me as we go, you know, deeper into this. I plan to be more index heavy than individual stock heavy. I started only on individual stocks, but now I'm leaning towards indexes because, again, why deal with the headache on so many other funds when I could just deal with an index or two, and then maybe, you know, add a few or more flyers that I think will do well. But anyway, QQQ, obviously that's the NASDAQ, you know, the index, the technology sector there, did well, 1,104 in options premium income. And then Netflix, I just added the Zebra or the Zicket, which is basically a different type of strategy, but still think of it like, you know, synthetic. Poor man's covered call, 2 poor man's covered calls, but whatever, 26 bucks on, actually, no, I did make more. Sorry, I have to correct that. Netflix calls. Was that? Oh no, that was yeah, that was in January. Okay, never mind. I had it right. All right, so $26 for Netflix. So if I run the tally for the month of December, again, this is just on options premium income, which, you know, I'm not in the high yield funds anymore. I'm doing it all by myself. So basically, you know, I wanted to venture out and use most, if not all, the portfolio money, doing it myself and see how I do. All right. But anyway, I made 5,013, slight decrease for the month prior, which is okay. I'm actually using, you had to use more capital though, 42,000 now. So if I look here, if I made 5,013 with a capital use of $42,000, that's an 11% ROI for the month, again, based on how much I'm using. If I annualize that sucker, that's about 142%. All right. So anyway, this 5,013 is what I'll carry over now to this file. And you'll see the Roddy income, which I don't know what we're going to call that. Maybe we'll just call it options income. But Roddy sounds better and it's less letters. But whatever. I made 5,013. So that's going to be plugged in right there. All right. But before we get into that, I'm going to show you that last month. All right. Well, let's start from the beginning, right? We started this in October. Our balance was 79,000. Why did it jump down to 72? Well, there's several reasons. One is bills are coming out, right? This is a bill pay account. And two is the market went, especially on a lot of the holdings I had, mainly Elf, Robinhood, a few others. So again, we're playing catch up, but I think in due time, we will recover. I know this looks ugly and I don't like to see it, but it is what it is. All right. So we went from 79 to 72 for, 72.7 for the month of November. This month, we're closing at 72.3, which is less than last month as well. However, almost flat, which ideally I want it to go up. And the reason, obviously, I'm going to show you is if our starting balance is 72.7, what happens? The goal, where's the goal balance? Estimated. Yeah, so it's going to add up, obviously. Yeah. So, yeah, where's the ending balance here? 72,718. So what do we go from here? We're going to go from, I'm going to cut this off here. Again, this thing's pretty new. Obviously, I've only done 3 months. I'm trying to make it, kind of pretty. So we'll sector this off so it's easy to see. Maybe this stuff since it's actually kind of estimates, most of this should be in italics, right? So then if we go over here, here's the income. All right, we again 5,013 from Roddy. Margin interest charge, none, because I didn't use margin. SWVXX, that is the money market fund that Charles Schwab has. As you can see, I made a big chunk last month, but at first I did put about 10 G's in it, and I changed my mind. And the reason is, once you put money in that, there's like a pending hold where you cannot use margin against it. But the good part about that fund is you can use it as collateral, as cash, essentially. So, like when you're selling puts and it requires collateral, and you need cash for that. Well, as if you have SWVXX money, that is also used as collateral there. All right. Looks like we have a question from Nikki. Are you doing better on your own than high yield stocks? Well, right now, you would say no, right? Looking at the numbers. But again, the timing, horrible timing. I think in due time, well, I don't think I can answer that question fairly over a 3-month period. I think we should at least wait 6 months to a year to see how it goes. But I don't know. Maybe not. And it depends which high yield stocks, because some high yield stocks do really well. Some get their ass kicked too, right? So again, this is all kind of a work in progress, but we'll see in due time. Ask me again in 6 months, Nikki. All right. So let's move over here. We got STRC. What is this? Well, it's one of the preferred MSTR stocks. Again, when it comes to Bitcoin, and I think I've said this over and over, I'm done trading Bitcoin Bitcoin related underlyings. I know Robinhood's kind of correlated with Bitcoin, but I'm not fully counting that. But I'm talking about leveraged Bitcoin plays. I'm talking about MSTR. What I'm doing for this year and going forward is I'm buying Bitcoin daily, I'm buying MSTR daily, and I'm buying STRC daily. But that's in another account. That's in my Robinhood account. But in this account, I'm treating STRC and SWVXX. They are basically the cash pile, the money that just sits there and collects dust. So instead of money just sitting there collecting dust, the money is earning money. So in SWVXX, actually, I don't know the interest rate right now. I could go on my other screen and get it for you guys. SWVXX interest rate. 3.61%. Yeah, so it looks like it's 3.61%. Because remember, they did have a rate drop. So obviously, there's going to come a point where, this rate is not going to be even worth it. So that pays 3.61%. This STRC pays 10%. Now, what's the risk? Obviously, both have risk. This has much less risk. STRC has the risk of the whole company, MSTR company, in your hands. So, but the idea is that it's $100 stock, right? Preferred stock, and it pays 10%. And I'm running with it, and I like the idea behind it, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to dive too deep into STRC. I did a video on it not too long ago. Hopefully it was of help. All right. So anyway, with all that money, again, so the income sources I have right now are the Roddy and the Zebra strategies we're doing, right? We have SWVXX and we have STRC. I plan to add new money to both of these each and every month. How much? Not quite sure, but to be determined. I'm thinking about 500 here and about 10 shares here. Again, I'm not dipping into margin just yet, mainly because it's a new strategy and I'm not comfortable with it fully. I'm getting my feet wet still. Again, this is a whole new thing. So I've never traded synthetics. I've never done anything like this. I've only done the wheel. But again, once I started dipping my toes in it, I'm kind of addicted. I'm having a lot of fun with the new strategy. And to be honest, it is a complete time saver. When I was doing the wheel, I was looking at my portfolio on every day. Now with this strategy, I'm only Fridays. I'm a Friday worker, right? I'm a Friday options trader. I don't have to look at it during the week unless I'm adding a new position or have to take action on a position if I got assigned, things like that. So anyway, so let's move on. My goal for total income for this month was 3,012. But obviously I exceeded that with 5,075. So that's a surplus of 2,063. Bills, how much did I have to pay out in bills? Again, my estimate over here is 2,000, pretty damn close, 1,009.54. Because again, I do have broker bill pay. So these are the bills for the month of December down here. So the mortgage, it automatically comes out. The gas bill automatically comes out. The internet, 2 internet bills and phone bills automatically come out. And the electric bill automatically come out. Finally, again, as of last month, it wasn't fully set up because we were converting accounts into one. But now I got all of these bills to be automatically deducted from the brokerage account. Now, every brokerage is different. Some are a pain in the ass. Some are not. Charles Schwab, if you want to have your bills paid out of Charles Schwab, there's several ways. One is opening a checking account, right, and having it flow through there. What I did is I ordered checks from the brokerage account. I didn't open the Charles Schwab checking account. I asked for checks. And the reason I had to do that is that's how I get the routing number and account number. And then once I get that information, I give that to all of these companies, and they take it and they make it auto ACH basically every month. All right. But obviously I have more bills and I'm working on adding them throughout the year. I may have to look into the Charles Schwab checking option. I was talking to someone in the Discord the other day who uses it, and basically he puts a zero balance in there, and it's in like an auto sweep. So if the money hits the account, it'll sweep out and take from the brokerage if needed, which, that could work too. So anyway, obviously my bills totaled 1,954 for the month of December. Are these all my bills? No, we'll get into all my bills in a second. So let's go back to the summary. So that being said, based on how much I made versus how much I paid out, I was able to reinvest 61.5% of that options income. Again, the idea is to do, to make it greater than 50. The goal is greater than 50. And, so far, so good, obviously. And we'll keep that going. Deposit, this is just any additional funds that I'm able to deposit to the portfolio. I don't know my goal for that for the year. I was thinking about going aggressive, but again, I'm revisiting my retirement date, my goal retirement date as a more of a realistic approach. Obviously last year, with us a pretty good success in YouTube and everything, I was getting a little cocky and it over my head and thinking I'll do better than what I did, but whatever. We'll talk about that too. Anyway, so regardless, so I made this, I paid this. So you would figure, right? I would have made a certain amount as of, after all of that. And it would have added an additional, 2,000 to 3,000 to the portfolio balance. However, I actually closed at 72,302.69, right? Now, why is that? Well, again, that is because this is actually reflecting the change in capital. Although, yes, I'm making all this money from options premium income, I am holding funds through a synthetic position. So funds like Robinhood, as they go down, my portfolio balance goes down with it. But you know, the idea is, the hope is, those funds will go up in due time and do better and make money during, you know, the chosen expiration date. So far, you know, the timing, the selection, you know, needs work. I need work. But again, that's part of the process, and I'm learning a lot, you know, throughout. So break down on this balance further. I'm just going to show you guys real quick, because I did create a little balance breakdown. So I could pull up month over month by month. So obviously, here's the balance: 72,302, slight decrease from the prior month, $400. Cash position, I am 72% in cash. However, that's not actually true, because if you go down here, I have an options requirement of 27,760. So obviously, if you'd have to deduct that out, which I did, to get the 52, which I thought I did, right? No, oh yeah, I plugged that in number manually, I guess. But whatever. So no, not that's the available cash. Where's actual cash? Here it is, actual cash. Duh. 24,000. So my actual cash position is 34% of my portfolio, which is why obviously I'm not using margin, because I don't need to. All right. And the reason I want to keep cash is to help assist, to add new positions if needed, or to save positions. In fact, I did add to my Robinhood position to help save it, to help save my cost basis, because it's god awful. It's almost unsavable at this point, but we'll see how it goes. All right. So anyway, SWVXX, I have to fix that for November. But anyway, I made 501.55 on that. No, I'm sorry. I hold 501.55 on that. I hold 6,900 in STRC. I mean, that's a decent amount of money. So you'd have to trust it. I mean, there's a lot of trust in MSTR in this portfolio and my Robinhood portfolio. But again, I believe in the strategy, buy and hold. But the reason it's in this account is because I need help and on a safe route. Although 10% is not going to help, you know, my goal is 50% yield, but 10%, it's okay. But again, capital flat. The idea is you'll invest 100, your capital stay at 100, and you'll make 10% on an annualized basis. Hopefully it works out. We'll see. This is how much money that shows that actually is invested into. Does that include? What does that include? H3 minus H4. That's the cash. Yeah, available cash. Minus H5. Yeah, I guess we're not counting that as invested. Anyway, what else? Actual cash, we went through that, 24,000. And then withdrawable margin. This is how much margin I can actually use, 28,297. Why is there two margin numbers? Well, one is basically, if I didn't use bill pay, then this would be my available margin balance, 94,000. But since money leaves the account, I have to use the withdrawable margin number, because this is how much I can take out of the account at any point in time. All right. So, I mean, it doesn't give me much wiggle room based on what my cash position is. But again, it's we'll work on that. I don't really care right now about the margin anyway, but you know, the fact that it's so close, it's really almost, you know, not much, you know. I don't know if this is an addition but maybe it is. So maybe I'm just looking at it wrong, but whatever. I don't give a crap about margin at the moment. But we'll see as this cash goes down, we'll see what this margin number looks like. All right. Because this cash is going to go down, right? At some point, right? Because I'm going to want to make other investments. But how far down, how much do I risk? We shall see. All right, so that's the breakdown. So again, the goal for next month, if I go to summary, is to be at 73.5 and then 74.5 and then so on and so forth, right? And then, you know, this is the in the middle. This is how much, you know, I plan on making, or this is my balance each month, and this is how much I plan on making as time goes on. So again, how much is a good amount to make for the month? I don't know. You have to look at annualized, because, you know, a lot of people, famous question is, what do you need, when are you going to retire? And I mean, I don't have an answer. And the more I think about it, the more I am going down to here, which is basically 55 years old, because the one age I know I can retire is 55. And the reason I say that is because most of my money is in a 401k. It's locked in there, right? You can't take it out unless you take the penalty. But if you leave the company at the age of 55 or greater, then you can utilize that rule of 55, which is in place. Posted about it the other day. It's on the IRS website, right? Not financial advice, of course. You know, talk to your financial advisor. But if you leave your job at the age of 55 or older, you should be able to take out your money from the 401k penalty free, which includes Roth. I did double check that too. So at the age of 55, again, this is assuming all things go as intended, I'm showing I'll make 3.5. I know, sounds ridiculous, 3.5 million. But again, I may need to, I hate to say it, but if the capital, you know, staying flat is really that much of a struggle, this may need to be modified. Again, I'm not judging it yet with 3 months in, but anyway, what is my retirement goal? I have this tab. We can probably get rid of this too, because that's pointless. But I'm just going to say 55 for now, to be honest. I'm 43, so that's 12 years. Is that doable? Yeah, it's more reasonable, especially with young kids and the expense of everything. Now, what expenses? Well, let's take a look. Let's see how we're doing over here. Here is the breakdown of everything. All right. So again, part of my portfolio update, it does include all, you know, other income, YouTube, all of the bills, things like that. Let me catch up on some comments since we are live. Yeah, good morning, PDC. Smell what I'm cooking? Someone does, right? If you smell, la, la, la. Good morning, Bruce. Bruce is like a regular now. Look at that. Nikki hitting the like button. Hopefully others are hitting the like button if they like it, right? So the total month net is the difference between the cash out and the balance change. Yeah. Well, and the income coming in, right? Because we have options premium coming in. And then, of course, you know, it's the net of the options premium, you know, minus the bills, and then whatever the capital movement is as well. Morning ETF inspector. Nikki is 55 on the 12th. Question for Nikki: do you have a 401k? And if you do, did you know of the rule of 55, and are you going to utilize it? Cisco, that's a new name. Welcome. Listening as I'm making coffee. Don't you plan on going vacation? We don't really go on vacations, honestly. But I'm thinking, you know, well, we do, but not like anything that costs anything. But Disney maybe in 2 years, once the younger one's a little older. I don't like, it's not a vacation. It's more like torture if I were to go now on a vacation. Good morning, Richard Woolley. Good morning, 50. Good morning, good morning. All right, so again, what is this? So if we look at the options income, I have retire now dividends and then retire options, but it's all pretty much options. You know, we're getting dividends from the preferred stock, STRC, of course, and we are getting interest from the Charles Schwab money market account. But anyway, 5,013, is that the right number still? Let's double check. Yeah, 5,013. All right, so that's how much I made from options. YouTube, obviously, this number is going down rapidly. The reason is, well, several reasons. I'm not as consistent. There are days I have skipped just because I didn't feel like it. I mean, or there just wasn't a reason to do a video, or I was away and then the chaos was not worth it. But regardless, that's one reason. The main reason is I stopped the daily YieldMax coverage. I still do YieldMax coverage, but less frequently, of course, as many of you know. So that did some damage. And the other reason is the market hasn't been that great. So people are less, in a rush to watch random, YouTube schmucks talk about, investing. So all things considered, it was a reality check. Okay, yeah, your YouTube is doing good. Like if you go back here, I made as high as 4,875. Now, I think this past month, the payout that I'll get in January, it's well under 1,000. So again, that's just going down. I even like for Twitter, they pay every 2 weeks. This past 2 weeks, they said I didn't even make enough to qualify for a payment. So obviously both, I haven't been as active, but I honestly, it's just hard to find the time, as easy. But regardless, this is how much I made on YouTube, 1,139.60 for the month of December. On Twitter, I made 55.34 for the month of December. So my total monthly income, again, this is outside of my active income being my job. I made 6,207. If I annualize that, sucker, that's 74,000. And if I average all the other months, it comes to be like 102. But again, 74 is not livable, not in this state. And here are the bills that you could see that I need to pay. But before I get into that, just going to see if there's any additional comments. Nikki responded, yes, I have a 401k right now. I'm waiting to pay down bills. I'm hoping to. Okay. So, all right. So you're going to utilize that feature. Because again, if 55, 56, 57, 58, doesn't matter. If you retire after 55, it should be penalty free. At least from what I read, I don't speak from experience, but I don't know about the rule at all. All right, so you planned on retiring without using your 401k. Nikki, Google Rule of 55 IRS, and it'll go right to their website, and they'll show you the exemptions of the 10% penalty, and that's one of them. I think it's the calendar year you turn 55, and only if your plan allows it. Well, that's debatable. I don't know if that's true or not because it's an IRS exception because they're the ones taking the 10%, right? So I don't really think the 401 company provider has a say, to be honest. But I don't know. It is a good point, though, something to double check. Sometimes I feel like when I ask these 401k people questions, they don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. But I'm not, no rush in asking them that question for me, at least. Great day for selling calls. Yes, it is. Overall market is doing fine. Yep. All right. DB, I'm going to check. Okay. 55 of, Rod's making us work another 6 months. But yeah. All right. Anyway, let's keep going. So here's the monthly bills. I don't, again, did I capture everything? Maybe. 1,300 mortgage, property tax, 690, homeowners insurance. That's divided by 12. I pay it annually. It sucks. 2,300. But it comes to about 192 a month. Any of the quarterly or annualized annual bills, I do that, calculate it what it would be for the month. Car insurance, 173. Water sewer bill, 131. Again, that's a freaking almost $400 I paid last quarter for freaking water and sewer. Gas bill, 123. Electric bill, 216. Most of these are increases from the prior month, unfortunately, because everything is going up. Everything, literally everything. Cell phone internet, 278. Parents internet, $35. Daycare went up because we added an extra day. Because again, we're just kind of aggravated. He didn't get in the preschool. There's a stupid lottery where we live, and we thought he was going to get in. because people would drop out, but that did not happen this year. So the daycare has preschool type classes. So we added another day. So that's 3 days a week. And 3 days a week comes to $9.15 a month in daycare expenses. Healthcare, I don't actually pay this. This is just an estimate of what I think I would have to pay for a family of four, 1,500. Life insurance, I have it through my job. I didn't estimate and I didn't purchase it outside of that, but I need to. I understand that. I'm just not in a rush because I have it already and I have enough where I work. But if I leave the company, I'm not going to have that. So I should consider adding that, at some point. Groceries, again, who the hell says what is a good number? I just Googled it and it came to that 1,656. Miscellaneous, this captures basically anything I missed. And then we got all these different, Social Security, Medicare, these, you got to pay these on, not your active income, but your other income, your YouTube income, the freaking Twitter income, and, whatever. Well, that's it basically, because you're not paying that as part of that. You don't have to pay it against the options income, the investment income. But you do have to pay the state income tax and the federal income tax. So obviously I'm adding that to this as part of the expenses. So the expenses, again, this is just the numbers I'm thinking as of today, how much I would need to live, like to survive on the family of four, 11,281. All right. So obviously if I go up here, generated 6,207. That is not even remotely close to 11,000. So when am I retiring? Not anytime soon. Okay. Not anytime soon. So again, going back to the summary and the breakdown, again, assuming a 50% yield and staying capital flat, these are the estimates. This is the estimated income throughout. Although this 2,000 estimated bill number will increase too over time as I add more bills. So I have to also keep that in mind. But, in looking at the annualized estimate, I also should probably add inflation, but I don't even have I don't even have a goal income number. I just highlighted anything over 250. Because again, if you're not at a job and you're relying on options income, YouTube income, you got to make sure, especially if you have freaking family relying on your ass, there is no, you better at least double what you think you need. Right. And that's what I'm thinking. That's why, to be honest, I'm of the thinking now that I'm not going to retire next year. I'm not going to retire the year before that. So at this point, 55 is 12 years away. If I had my 401k today, could I retire? I could, but it would be tight. But why not? Why struggle? Let's just set the goal to 55. Let's assume we're working another 12 years. Let's let the Roth 401k do its thing, build up, which maybe I'll add that to this spreadsheet, right, for next month. If you guys want to see that, I haven't shared my 401k in a long time. I did in previous videos, I think, but there goes the dog. But anyway, so yeah, again, I'm trying to be a little more realistic and break down and have a realistic goal, because I'm not retiring this year. YouTube, forget it. YouTube's a goner. I'm still going to do YouTube. I'm just going to do what I want. I'm not really going to do, I'm not going to spend hours upon hours after work trying to create spreadsheets, just to make another couple $1,000 or two, because to be honest, it was pretty much a struggle, a lot of days. It's just not worth it. I'm having a lot more fun kind of covering what I want and whatnot. And to me, it's worth it. So I'll take the YouTube pay cut. All right. Anyway, let's cover some questions. See if you guys have any questions. Did they push it to half? Is it 55 and a half? I mean, that's such BS. See, that's what scares me because I'll be doing this and then I'll turn like 54 and I'm like, yeah, we're going to change it to the rule of 58. And I'll be like, what? So that's why I'm in no rush to increase the contribution in my 401k. I'm going to probably leave that as is and just let it do its thing. I'm going to take the company match and that's it. But yeah, everything going up except wages, pretty much. Yep. Having a well is nice for water, but then you don't mind that water bill as much when the power is out. Yeah. Small generator. Yep. Let's see. Likely has a generator if he has a well. Double at minimum. Yep. What's going on? Just a thought, but if you will need more life insurance, this is the age to add. Yeah, I know, because the longer I wait, the more that they'll charge me. I know, but freaking insurance, you know how these companies are, though. You know they know what they're doing. They price it. We ain't fooling them signing up now or later. Obviously, if I have more health issues as we go, sure, but I get it. The premium's going to be lower if I jump in now, but it's something I need to do sooner than later. That's for sure. But anyway, so that's the portfolio update. Obviously, yeah, how's it going? It's a little blah at the moment. But honestly, I'm feeling really good about the strategy that we've implemented. And when I say we, it's basically a community of options traders that kind of just learn as we go. And that's what really this channel, the route it's headed. Yeah, it's retire on dividends, and it is. And I plan on retiring on dividends mostly. But again, I'm going to be very active in the options trading. Right now, I'm very, very active because I'm learning, and I'm learning with the majority of my money, and I'm okay in doing that. All right. So whatever happens, happens. Obviously, have I made mistakes already? Yes, I did. And, it's because my lack of, knowledge of entry point, right? Knowledge of charting. And that's one of the things I'm working on for 2026. But yeah, we'll get there. So the update is the goal for the month of January is 3,063. No worries on that, honestly. I'm going to hit that. That's going to be easy hit. The challenge is keeping the capital flat or up on the positions that I'm just, that are just sitting there, being held. And that is the challenge. So far, over 3 months, the balance has gone down. Obviously, not ideal, but we'll see. Again, like it's the start of a new year. Tax loss harvesting is over with, right? That disaster. Earlier in the week, I think I was looking at 74,000. I'm like, all right, that's a pretty good number. And then it just dropped. It dropped down to 72, of course, by December 31st, which it's kind of expected in a way. So that's why the numbers, it would have been a much prettier number. But again, a day or two could change a lot. A lot. All right. All right. Anyway, what else we got going on here? Yeah, I know. Can't hurt to price it. I'm going to assign that job to my wife, I think. What does the 50% yield goal mean? Is it dividend yield or return on options? It's basically everything, right? Because I make some income from a money market and STRC. Everything else is relying on the dividend income. So yes, it's basically mostly all dividend. Options income. So the idea is, because the goal for December was $3,000, which is, if you take 50%, multiply it by the goal balance, and then divide by 12, that is the monthly goal, based on a 50% annualized, 3,012. Obviously, I exceeded that at 5,013. However, the reason the balance is down is because the positions we are holding synthetically have gone down. So yeah, it's 50% of the ending balance. So this next month will be 50% based on, it's using what, this number? Yeah, that's my estimated starting balance, but whatever, close enough to that. 3,063, or again, $3,000 range basically. And that is a very easy goal. It's just the challenge is making 50% while keeping your capital flat or growing. All right, Stock Kings, welcome. I haven't seen your name. It's nice to see an X comment, by the way, on a live stream. So thank you for joining. Any other questions before we head out? Again, this is the live portfolio update. Usually I do a pre-record. To be honest, in the YouTube scheme of things, pre-records do a million times better than live streams, but live streams are just so much easier because, if I was to pre-record, I'd be spending this time pre-recording, and then by the time I post it, it'll be like 7:30, 8 o'clock, which again, that my time slot has been 6:30 for the past 2 years, so I don't want to really kind of ruin that unless I recorded like 4 or 5 o'clock. But then again, I'm probably waking up the house, so that's kind of why I'm always live. I like live. I don't know if you guys do. Parabolic Code, appreciate the portfolio budget update. Picked a few pearls today. Thank you for being here, Parabolic. Thanks for the explanation. I am alone here. Yeah, you are. Hey, you know what? But you're keeping it going, man. I appreciate that. And I don't know why, but more people attend the live on X than YouTube by a decent amount, but no one talks on X. So I guess it's pretty easy to just click and listen. Maybe these people are the driving. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But thank you, LA. By the way, go check out LA Appliance, guys. He's smart. He still does the pre-records. He has a premiere 7:30 a.m. Every day. He don't miss a damn day. And his channel is actually growing. And, he also has mostly evergreen content, right? Because if people want to repair something, they'll just look it up, and hopefully one of his videos will come up, which is good. And that was that's actually one of my goals. I don't know if I made a video about my goals, but that's one of them. Post more evergreen content, and I'll have to be doing it like a pre-record though. I can't do evergreen content live. Then again, lives people go to a YouTube channel, they don't click live, they click videos. All right. And that's part of the problem. And then plus, once after I go live, during the live is great. I think YouTube promotes it to hell, but after that, it's kind of gone. Like, it's not like really, it doesn't come up on the feed like a video does, if that makes sense. All right. So Lazy Tom, that's a new name. Welcome. 68 just retired in October. Congrats, Lazy Tom. Were you Lazy Tom when you were working, or is this just changed since you retired? Waiting for my IAP, rolling into Fidelity IRA, hoping it shows up. I'll play these on sale. Going to buy Chippity Doodah, QQQI, Spy-Eye. You got some pretty damn good choices there. 6 a.m. Eastern. I'm in California this week for work, and I'm watching you. Great Sergio, look at you, bro. So you're what, 350 right now? 350? Thank you, Sergio. Good morning. Good morning, Eminem. It's nice to have Eminem. See, we have celebrities here. First time watching on live on X, but I think you have to go full screen to chat. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just click it. I use StreamYard, so it's easy to select another alternative to go live on it. So that's why I click X. LA getting love today. Yes, congrats, Tom. Any other questions? Any other questions? Stock King, Tom, Parabolic, Sergio, ETF Inspector, if you're still here, LA Appliance. I need them to go live. I know, don't go live actually, but I do like going when other people go live because then you can actually talk to them. It looks like I'm selling winter today. Oh, snap-a-doo, red fish, getting scared that Bitcoin's going to be moving. All right. Bitcoin update. Here we are. Again, this is the beauty of being live. We could do live updates. Yes. Yes. 93. There. Now we're talking, son. Now we talking. We moving. Moving. Normally, I watch you from Texas. Nice. Texas, Texas. I need my coffee to hit my brain before I can ask any. Yeah, I hear you, man. I'm on my second cup, kind of. But sometimes I go live with like no coffee in me. Me? Brewed, of course. I mean, I drink instant, though. I'm not a coffee diva, but I do have my limits. Like, I won't drink 7-Eleven coffee. I'd rather have no coffee than that. Wawa is disgusting as well. But even Dunkin', maybe I am a coffee diva. Dunkin' sucks lately. I don't know. Yeah, brewed, of course. But I do like instant. So I guess, I don't know. What else? Instant coffee's good. And it's easy. Never had a, what? What? Is he messing with us? I live in Las Vegas. I worked in Los Angeles. Done with driving home every weekend. Loving retirement. Look at that. Lazy Tom having fun. Hopefully you're a new regular, but Lazy Tom, let us know if you have any questions. This is just a portfolio update. We're just chilling in the AM before we all get our asses to work. At least some of us, not you, obviously. But always feedback, always appreciated of future content what you guys want to see. I like instant because I'm lazy. McDonald's is good. McDonald's is not terrible. I'll give you that. It also depends on probably what time of day you get it from. Redfish. Oh, wow. Everyone likes instant coffee. It's funny. Whenever you say instant coffee, normally people are like, ew. Oh, instant coffee. Yeah, see, there you go. Like drinking from a shack, maybe. What is okay if you are halfway. I mean, come on, Sergio, don't be bougie. All right, I think we're live long enough. We got between X and YouTube, we got 229 people attending live. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching after the fact. Again, however you find the live. I know people say, oh, you don't post any videos anymore. I'm like, I do, under live. Click live. So if you guys want to help the channel, there's several ways. One is sharing the video so people know, oh, I'm actually posting videos still. And number two is liking, right? Just hitting the like button. And number three is commenting and saying like, poopity doodah, or instant coffee rules, or chicken to China, the Chinese chicken, things like that. But, whatever you want to do. So that being said, as always, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video was for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back whenever. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we'll go live again. Yeah. And we'll talk about, I don't know. I'm thinking might start a Rex Shares series weekly. Maybe. Give him a chance. Pete's K-Cup. What the hell is that? Keyword coffee. Maybe. Later. All right. So anyway, we're going to get to the end of the video. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to say the keyword. So since we're live, again, we asked the people that are here live to type in the keyword. If you guys give me a good one, and then that's the keyword. Looks like we have several. Brother says coffee. Wolf says rule of 55. Anyone else? Any takers here? Nikki's going to the office. Do you sit in a cubicle? Nikki, what do you do? Did you ever tell us? Let's see. Shock. Well, that's answering the other question, I think. All right, so what's the keyword? Come on, Cletus. You guys are slacking. All right, I'm taking a sip of coffee while you guys think. You export car parts. Look at you. So you sit in a cubicle staring at a screen all day, right? It's fun. It's like my job. Rule 55. Yeah. Okay, so that's 2 for the rule 55. I'm good with that. Jill, sorry, but we're ending. But you're going to have to go back and watch it. and then you have to type in the keyword. All right, even though you didn't make it. No, I'm just kidding. But the keyword is for both people that watch live and after the fact. Yeah, cubicle life. Yeah, it's a sad life. It really is. But we'll get out of there. All right. So anyway, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to say the freaking keyword. The freaking keyword today is the rule of 55. If you don't know what that is and you have a 401k, you really need to just Google it. Google it. Charles Schwab has a great article on it. That's one of the things that come up. Obviously, the IRS website, that's what you want to look it up, right? You want to see if there is an actual rule of 55. Everyone I mentioned this in the real world, outside of YouTube people's, they're like, no, this does not exist. I'm like, yeah, it does. Because they asked me when I'm retiring, and I say 55 at the latest. Why 55? Well, I could take my 401k. No, you can't. Yes, you can. So go look it up. Don't go what I say. Go look it up, and then, spread the word too, because more people need to know about it. You're not stuck until you're 62 and a half or whatever the number. Not even 62. What is the number anymore? I don't even know the real number. No, 59 and a half. That's it. 59 and a half. I know it's not, too much earlier, but yeah, like ETF Inspector is, it's fine to type it here, but you got to type it in after. Once I post this video, once I end it and I stop yip yapping, type it in the main comments, rule 55. Let's do that today, because I haven't been getting a lot of keywords. You guys have been slacking, to be honest. So, but I've been slacking. So, 1 for 1, right? Yeah, 62 for Social Security, but I think it's 59 and a half for the 401k. But anyway, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, once this video is over, you're going to type in the rule 55 in the comments, and you're going to go look it up and then research it. And we're all going to learn about it, and we're going to spread the word so other people know there's other that's an option. But then most people say, well, I need Medicare. Well, I need Social Security. Well, I need, but hey, you can only do so much. Anyway, I'm out of here. That was a long portfolio overview. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching after the fact, even though it's hard to find alive. I appreciate it. And we shall talk tomorrow. All right. Oh, you know what? I'm going to end on my song. And then I'm going to say later. So let's play the song. Sorry. I love this song. Thanks again to the ambassador of Quan for making it for me.
Ooh. Yeah. Good morning, friends. R to the O to the D. Retire on dividends, you know me. Cash flow mindset moving differently. Numbers don't lie, plans stay ready. If you want that life, say freedom with me. R to the O to the D. Retire on dividends, you know me. Built, not sold, yeah, intentionally. No hype talk, just clarity. If you want that life, say freedom with me. Mid-40s, married man, house stay loud. Raising up boys, turning boys into men. New puppy running, chaos around. Still clocking in, but he plotting the end. Giants fan scars, yeah, he wear that pain. Smiles through the losses like part of the game. Never throw shots, never talks that mess. Yeah, builds people up, less results address. Yeah, streams every day, never missing a beat. YouTube live X when the mic get heat. Not selling dreams, just showing the math. Wins and drawdowns, full on his path. Spreadsheet brain with a streetwise frame. Plays of discipline, never chasing fame. R to the O to the D. Retire on dividends, you know me. Cash flow mindset moving differently. Numbers don't lie, plans stay ready. If you want that life, say freedom with me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Options on screen, risk handle precise. Structures built calm, every move got a price. Cover calls roll, protection in place. Time on his side, patience setting the pace. They say slow down, he say stay exact. Same calm tone when the market snap. Runs through mud just to test that will. Same mindset when the chart goes still. Sings on the post, crowd laugh, he grin. Go dig a hook, but the lesson still win. Movie quotes fly, wrestling frame. Serious work, but he keep it light, man. R to the O to the D. Retire on dividends, you know me. Cash flow mindset, moving differently. Numbers don't lie, plan, stay ready. If you want that life, say freedom with me. If you want that life, say freedom with me. This was for fun and entertainment purposes. I hope you have fun and were entertained. And if not, I'll do better next time. And if you made it this far, and you want to make sure everybody knows, you got to say the key word. Freedom! Freedom!
All right. Thank you all for watching again. Later.